My 27F, FWB, 32 meters, keeps trying to mansplain the female body to me and accusing me of being sexually reckless. Earlier this year, right after my period, I developed a weird smell down there and had more discharge than normal. I thought it was just female hormones, body acting up, and didn't bother for a few days, but then a week had gone by and it was getting progressively more pronounced. I went for a verbal consultation with a female GP and the diagnosis was BV, bacterial vaginosis. I asked the doctor what could have caused it and she told me it was just an imbalance of regular bacteria which could have been caused by a plenty day. I fucked up a myriad of things and I shouldn't be concerned. It's very common among women. I took the meds but noticed similar symptoms again after my next period. The GP told me it would maybe take some time to completely normalize. After a few more menstrual cycles it still hadn't gone away. In fact, it was getting progressively worse again. I went to a clinic, doctor that specialized in female health. This time they did a swab test to have actual results to go on and I was diagnosed with unusually high levels of strep B, a type of bacteria that lives in the female reproductive system and can get out of whack for any range of reasons. I shared all these with him as they were happening and his first reaction was to tell me that BV, Strep B were both STDs that I could have only gotten by sleeping around and there was no way I could have gotten it anyway else. I know this is impossible because I haven't slept with anyone else since we got together. I'm very irritated because even when I tell him this is what the doctor said he still insists he's right. He's wrong. Doesn't matter how much he says he's right, he's wrong. I had BV as a virgin because of using tampons. Doesn't sound like there's any convincing him, but you could try to send him some educational material on the matter. He's ignorant. You can only tell him what you know. I've been with my boyfriend 2 years and have gotten it from birth control once. Possibility your FWB is deflecting his own sleeping around but likely just ignorant AF. Vaginas are crazy. Having a penis doesn't make him a doctor, therefore he doesn't have a medical license to yank on the grounds of ignorant idiocy. However, you can and should revoke his access to your body. He's not only stupid, he's also arrogant, unwilling to listen and trying to slut-shame you for having temperamental female biology. No matter how good his sex skills are, they aren't worth dealing with the rest of him. Drop him and move on. The hilarious thing about his ignorant and misinformed comments is that you can actually get BV if, for instance, he slept with a woman, and then didn't wash, and then slept with you, thus messing up your pH balance. A quick Google would put him straight, but clearly he doesn't care, he just wants to see you as the bad guy. His own semen can mess up your pH balance, so can condoms. Sounds like he isn't really a friend and the benefit are limited. Maybe the FWB situation has run its course. FWB does seem too kind, more like a dick with a dick. How do I 28M end a relationship with my future sister-in-law 15F after she accused me of sexually harassing her in front of my fiancé, 27F? My fiancé, 27F, and I, 28M, have been together for 8 years, dating for 7 years, engaged for 1. Thanks to COVID, we lost half our income and we decided to move into her parents' guest house to cut down on expenses. I regret that decision. One day back in June, while making dinner for my fiancé and I, her younger sister 15F stops by to hang out. Without warning, she looks at me and says, "Op, stop sexually harassing me." I am so dumbfounded. Confused, I questioned what she was saying. She repeats herself, "Op, stop sexually harassing me." I am so astonished and the only thing I could do was ask how. She doesn't explain anything and she leaves. I'm still standing in the kitchen wondering what the hell just happened and why she would say that. I've known this girl since she's 7 years old. Every time my fiancé and I had plans, I made sure to include her, only if my fiancé was willing to, whether it be the movies, county fairs, etc. I took her to her dance competitions, picked her up from her extracurricular activities and even dropped her off to hang out with her friends. I treated her like the younger sister I've never had. We've had no physical contact and I would never ever betray the trust of my partner nor her family. To be accused of something so horrific is absolutely devastating. I discussed this issue with my fiancé about a week after the incident occurred. I assumed that she heard the whole conversation because she was sitting at the kitchen table, 2 feet apart from us. She claims that she didn't hear her sister say anything like that and that she would have spoken to her sister sooner. Any advice on salvaging this relationship with my future sis-in-law? Is it even worth saving? I'm extremely hurt that I would even be accused of something like this. Too long didn't read. Future sis-in-law accuses me of sexually harassing her in front of fiancé. Fiancé doesn't say anything about it until a week later. Is there a relationship worth saving? Don't be alone with her anymore. She questions why you don't have a close relationship anymore. Tell her that actions have consequences. I would let your fiancé talk to her first and see if she can find out what her sister considered sexual harassment, if anything. Teenagers can be odd and there may be a couple of reasons she did this. 1. She was trying to joke with you in very poor taste. 2. She wanted some type of attention. Or a third possibility. Not sure of any conversation or actions taken during this time, so it's possible you said or did something, maybe unintentionally, that made her feel this way. Either way, I would say to just distance yourself from her until you and your fiancé can at least get an idea as to why her sister said what she did. Once you know the cause of her accusation, you can speak with your fiancé about how to proceed. Good luck, Hop. Invite a third option, which is that maybe she doesn't want her sister to get married, because she thinks that they'll stop involving her or that somehow her life will change when they get married. Either way, this is in extremely poor taste and that girl needs a fucking talk. You don't distance yourself lest it influence your own relationship in a bad way. It's been 4 months. If she really said what you think she said, wouldn't the relationship have been affected in some way already? You say you want to save the relationship, but you don't describe anything that's been lost. If nothing's changed, take "I misheard something" for an answer here, and get out of your head. Yeah, a lot of this story isn't making sense. If the fiancé was right there when it happened, how didn't she hear the conversation? Did Op not talk to his fiancé immediately after it happened, to ask her what the hell just happened? He doesn't mention what they were talking about either prior to her saying he was sexually harassing her. What did he say? Could it have been mistaken for sexual harassment, even if it was completely innocent? Did she misunderstand him? Why is Op asking what to do now, over 4 months later? He doesn't say how the relationship has changed, if at all. Very strange. Makes me think this is a fake post. I would have your fiancé talk to her first and go from there. Maybe you said something that she interpreted as sexual and it's not even on your radar, or it was a shitty joke. Either way, you would clearly feel better if you got to the bottom of it. My fiancé spoke with her and she said claims she doesn't know what sexual harassment is. Funny thing, that was the conversation she was having prior to this incident. Red flags, or nah? So I, 18M, asked my girlfriend, 18, this question. If a random girl around our age walked up to me in public, hugged me and whispered in my ear that a creep was following her and if I could pretend to be her boyfriend, she bursted into tears, screamed no and accused me of cheating, even though it hasn't happened. I was just asking. To top it off, she's making me feel bad by asking why not her brother, or cousin? Why does it have to be a boyfriend? Is this a major red flag or not? Question mark. Why did that question even come up? But yeah, not a good reaction on her part. Sign of immaturity. She cried over that? Yes, that is a red flag. Are there any other red flags that you have seen? If a random girl around our age walked up to me in public, hugged me and whispered in my ear that a creep was following her and if I could pretend to be her boyfriend. I'm interested in knowing what type of conversation led to this question. Same, why create a random scenario where you get to be the savior for a damsel? Question mark. I mean, I see both sides. It's a weird question to bring up. Her reaction though was a bit extreme. I'd like to add that you can save the girl without it being a boyfriend scenario. Personally, I think instead of pretending to be her boyfriend, or brother, or cousin for that matter, the best way to approach is to start pointing and shouting, "This man is following me, can someone help me? What's your problem?" with the guy. Causing a scene not only is a fantastic deterrent, especially if you have several people doing it, it's likely to stop him from just moving on to someone else. If this was a real situation, I would have been mad at you if you didn't pretend to be the boyfriend or whatever to help the girl. I am far from 19 lol. But remembering my younger self, I still think this is how I would feel. Most women would do anything to protect another woman who was feeling scared. The only argument for not doing it is if maybe the girl is working with the creepy guy to put you in a position to be robbed. So, if this ever does happen in real life, help the girl but stay in public places.